Train until you've lost 10% of your strength. You bench 500, you're down to 450, you lost 10%. It really keeps it simple. Coach Greg, and today I'm going to be reviewing a video by Greg Doucette. Greg Doucette, he's an IFBB pro bodybuilder. He posted this video 5 years ago. It's titled, How Hard Should You Train and How Long Should You Rest? Gonna go over the video, see if he makes sense, if he knows what he's talking about, or if he's in fact a moron. It's been 5 years, maybe there's new research that proves he's an idiot. We're gonna find out. Let's see what he says.
You're out there training, you don't know how hard to go. You wanna know how it feels if you do a hard set. I mean, I know you're not gonna do a set of 50 all out and have to train like that. It's just a little bit crazy. But if you do a hard set, and you can do the same amount of reps the next set after 5 minutes rest, the set wasn't hard enough.
So how hard should you train? I mean, Greg Doucette, don't you know it's train harder than last time? How hard should you train? Harder than last time. It couldn't be more simple. But what exactly are you saying here? If you could do a set and you go hard, and you rest and then you go and do the same amount of reps, that you didn't in fact train hard enough. I agree, if you can repeat the same amount of reps on the same weight, then the previous set, it wasn't actually that hard. Because if it was hard, if it was really hard, you wouldn't be able to get the same many reps. When you do a set, you get tired. If you rest and do the set again, you just can't perform it at the same level. Okay, that makes sense. You're going to slowly get weaker. If you're doing 200 pounds on the bench press for 10 reps, and you rest and you do 200 for 10, you rest and do 200 for 10, and you rest again and do 200 for 10, were any of the sets of 10 actually hard? No, they weren't that hard, because if they were, you would have noticed a drop off, a drop in strength. Maybe you would have got only 9 reps on the next set, maybe 8.
Watch how hard this is. I rested 10 minutes and just got 50. Watch how hard it is to do. Oh.
So he claims to have done 50 reps with 385 pounds on the deadlift. That sounds a little fishy. I mean, he's not posting the video, so how do we know what actually happened? Let me do some research. I don't believe this guy. I'm only right 99.6% of the time. Could he in fact have done that much weight?
Find out about this dude. Greg Doucette, deadlift. See what I find. What is this? Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro, Guinness World Record.
You're just
Hold
dying.
on.
So here I am thinking, geez, I might not get 50, and I'm just like locked it out and then done. Falling to the ground. Couldn't have done another rep.
Okay, so upon further review, apparently this Greg Doucette guy, he actually used to be quite strong. He used to be strong in the old days 5 years ago. He actually deadlifted over 400 pounds for 50 reps, so I guess he probably could have done 385 for 50, considering 400 is more than 385, and he got 50 reps with it. I guess it's true. So he just did 385 for 50 reps. He's rested 10 minutes. Let's see how easy it is. Obviously, it's going to be easy. He did 50 reps with it. I mean, clearly, it's going to be easy. Well, he's looking pretty jacked, this Greg Doucette guy. Okay, first of all, no way is this freaking guy natty. Look at the freaking biceps and the veins and the muscles on this guy. He looks huge. And he's ripping the pants apart at the knees. Obviously, the bar is scraping on the knees. Yeah, it's not fun to deadlift and rip apart your knees, so he's wearing pants to prevent the scrapes and the bleeding.
I could probably get 20 now.
He's saying he can only get 20 reps after that first set. So clearly that first set was so grueling, so exhausting, that if he had to repeat the set, he'd only get 20. What does that mean? It means he's done for the day. One set and you're out. People are wondering, how many sets should you do? How much volume should you do? If you train all out to this point, and you lose that many reps, you are done.
If you do a hard set, your body just can't recover. It's just done. So in your normal day, when you're working out and you're going to failure, give yourself plenty of rest. I like to tell people 6-to-1 work to rest ratio.
Okay, so he's saying when you go all out, you need to rest long. He says 6-to-1 work rest ratio. He's probably a bit tired from doing the deadlifts as he said it wrong. It's a 1-to-6 work to rest ratio. 1 part work, 6 part rest. For every second that you train, you need 6 seconds of rest. If the set takes you a minute to do, like on a 50 rep set, you need to rest about 6 minutes. If you take 30 seconds to do a set, 6 times 30 is 3 minutes. So if you're typically in the gym training 30 seconds, you should be resting about 3 minutes because you're doing high intensity exercise. You need a long time to recover. No, Coach Greg, you're wrong. I rest 1 minute between sets. That's because you train like a pussycat. That's right. If you can train hard and rest a minute and repeat the exercise and keep going, it's because all your sets are half-ass. They're half-assed. You're not training hard enough. You're training for volume, and volume is not the way to grow. Sure, you need some volume, but you need intensity. Intensity is more important than volume. If you just train with really light weights all the time, you do 20 sets, it's not how to grow. You need to train harder than last time. Don't need to train with more volume. You need to train harder. You can do the same amount of volume and keep doing it and get stronger for a long period of time. Don't think it works? Coach the guy, Alex Charchuk, just squatted 760 pounds raw in a meet below parallel, a PR. Bench 468, pause in a meet, PR. Deadlift 782 with ease, another PR. And he's been improving every single year. For years, I've been coaching him over 5 years. It's worked. He trains like this. He trains harder than last time. He doesn't do 5 sets of 5. He does a really hard freaking set, rests a shit ton of time, maybe does 1 or 2 sets depending on if he's dropped off in strength or not. And it works. Proof is in the friggin' high protein pudding.
So your set took you 30 seconds, you gotta rest at least 3 minutes or you're just not recovered. No way can you put that effort again. And if you're not at 90% strength, it's time to go home.
So what is this Greg Doucette saying that you need to go home after you lose 10% of your strength? Charles Poliquin, famous trainer, you know Charles Poliquin, he coined the critical drop-off point. He suggested if you drop between 5 and 20% of the load, depending on how heavy you're lifting, that it's time to go home. It's time to pack your bag to go home and you've done enough. So why did I say 10%? Well, most people who train like me in that 10 to 12, 15, whatever rep range, around 10% applies to you. If you train really, really heavy, it's a lower percent. If you train really, really light, like this 385 for 50, then it's more like 20%, okay? But for most people, the rule applies 10%.
So what that means is, if you can lift 100 pounds for 10 reps, and you're, 30 minutes into your workout, and you can only lift 90 pounds for 10 reps at this point, your workout's over.
Exactly, 100 pounds for 10, now you can only do 9. As long as you've been resting long enough and you can't do it anymore, you've done enough, you can go home. You worked hard enough.
It's not about training 50 sets or 30 sets, it's about training hard enough to do the appropriate stimulation of the muscle to get your desired response, which for us is hypertrophy, to grow the muscle.
If you lost 10% strength or more, you've done enough for the day that you don't need to keep going. You've stimulated the muscle enough to grow, okay? It's as simple as that. I'm trying to keep things simple, training simple so you know what to do, okay? If you're training really hard and doing the 1-to-6 work-rest ratio and you can't get within 90% of your strength, you're done.
If you train too much, you're just overtraining. Don't train hard enough, you're not gonna have enough eagerness for your body to grow. So think of that one, 90%. You have to train until you're 90% strength remaining, so 10% loss. So if you're benching 500 and you can't bench 450, workout's done. Try that for a tip, see how that works.
Train until you've lost 10% of your strength. You bench 500, you're down to 450, you lost 10%. It really keeps it simple. If you're training and you're not losing 10% of your strength during a workout, you're not training hard enough. Unless, of course, you're a beginner and don't get pedantic on me. In most people, most situations, most people in the gym, you should be losing 10% of your strength. If you're not, it means you're training very easy. And the goal is to train harder than last time. So if you are training easy right now and you're not losing any strength, next time maybe go a little bit harder and see what happens. Overall review, this guy, he knows what he's talking about. This Greg Doucette guy, I highly recommend you follow his channel, Greg Doucette. He's a pro bodybuilder. He's way more jacked than me. Clearly knows what he's talking about. He ain't natty. He's clearly on some kind of good stuff. But whatever. It's his choice. It's legal in his country. I'm not judging him. Hope you learned something. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette, IP Pro. Blooping up 2 videos. Which one should they watch?
Bottom one.
The bottom one. She likes it on the bottom. Watch the bottom one. And until next time.
I am out.
You heard it there? I am out.